Good morning, everybody. I wanted to quickly go over a couple things that you might find helpful in the way of examples using the Ichimoku on the Russell from yesterday, March 11th, 2014. I am doing an Ichimoku webinar on Thursday at 8 o'clock. So if you're interested, go to my website and click on the webinar tab at the top at easyeMinitrade.com. Now, if you've already attended or seen some of the Ichimoku webinars that I did or that are out there, you're probably already familiar with a lot of the information using the indicators. It's a great tool. I love it. I'd love it more every day. I'm going to be showing you a little more aggressive ways to trade with it on Thursday, as well as the basics. So you might be able to pick something up that you may not have considered prior to that. So like I said, if you're interested and you think it can be helpful, then sign up and I'll see you on Thursday. But for now, let's look at yesterday on the Russell. So this is the Russell. This is the start of yesterday. And I like to take the closes outside the cloud, but if price is just going sideways, you're not really going to be looking to take an entry when price closes outside the cloud because you've got support below you or resistance above you. Now, of course, you could still take it and use the area of resistance or support as a target, but make sure you have room first. So like here, when we get closed outside the cloud, not a whole lot of space down to the 50%, so I'm not interested in messing with that. Same here. So I'm not interested in messing with anything around the round number area. As I've mentioned before, I've been burned too many times in those areas, so I just choose not to mess with them unless I've got enough room to be profitable to get there. This blue line here is the Chico line, and this plots 26 periods behind price. So for example, where I have this horizontal line here, excuse me, vertical line here, this is the bar that was forming when the Chico line was here. So one of my favorite setups is the Chico line breakdown. So I established this area of support. You can see it holding numerous times. And so what I watch for those Chico line breakdowns is I watch for the Chico line to break the horizontal line, and then I watch for the bar that's forming when that happens to close, and then I can look to get in under that bar. Now, in this case here, we've got room below to 93.80, and that's a strong area of support and resistance. So you take that expecting to likely hit that spot there at 93.80. Now, this is right around news, so depending on what your plan is around news, you may have passed on that, but this is a picture-perfect Chico line breakdown. Then you see price trades back to the cloud, and this is still right around news, but it trades back into the cloud. I'm not too keen on taking the cloud bounces, like retracements back to the cloud, unless you have a really strong trend, or if you're trading off a larger time or tick frame. This is a small chart to be trading from. It's a 4-tick range chart, but that's what I like. The bigger the chart, the less noise you have. So looking for a pullback to the cloud and taking an entry will work better off of a larger chart. Here you can see we get closed outside the cloud, and above you you've got the 50% fib retracement, so you could take that as a buy and expect price to trade its way back to the 50%, and if it doesn't find its way to the 50, if it finds its way to the 50 and then can get through it, then you're looking at the pivot point. But this white dotted line is the 50% fib retracement. When you get closes outside the cloud, the higher percentage trade is also when that Chico line is coming outside the cloud. So this Chico line here was not coming outside the cloud until this bar right here. But because you know where resistance is, realistically you're safe getting in above this bar here and looking for it to retrace back up to resistance. And of course here you get closed outside the cloud as well. But you're right on that support area. It works out, but you know, this is a numbers game. You're looking to take the higher probability trades. And let's see, one other thing I wanted to show you. This is a different setup, so let me just erase that. It has nothing to do with the Ichimoku. Okay. One thing I did want to show you guys, and I mean you could trade pullbacks, you know, as prices moving higher here, pullback, etc. I'm not going to go over that. What I want to show you is this. This is a little bit more aggressive because obviously price is moving higher. So you would expect after a move like this that you would get a little bit of a larger retracement. So here you can see that price has pulled away from the cloud. You can see the distance between price and the cloud. And what I do is I've got my Anna super trend dots if you're trading Ninja, or these are the super trend stop indicator in Sierra. So what I would look to do is once I get a close below that, which is this bar right here where I've got this white arrow, let me just get rid of this white line here. You could look to get in under that bar with the expectation of finding your way back down to the cloud. Now, one thing I want to point out is that if you have a very quiet market, you need to have some movement in order to do this type of entry. Because if you have a very quiet market, price could stay up here consolidating, and then it winds up running into the cloud. Because you can see here when price is plotting right here, this is the cloud that's forming. The cloud is always plotting in the future. The Chico line is always plotting in the past. So even though now it looks like this Chico line is right where price is, keep in mind, you know, you're looking at something that already happened. And I'll show you what the Chico line looks like in a second, real time. So just make sure that if you're going to do this type of trade that I'm mentioning here, that you do have some decent movement going on. Otherwise, you know, don't risk it. Here you can see you also get closed outside the cloud right here. And you can certainly take that with the 1200 area as your estimated target spot. And then it keeps going, going, going. But here you can take a pullback, and I'll go over the pullbacks in detail on Thursday. But let me just scroll to the end here for show you this morning here real quick, just so I can show you what the Chico line looks real time. So here's price currently, and then here's the Chico line. So the Chico line is always plotting 26 periods behind. So I hope that you find that helpful, and I'll give you many, many more examples on Thursday. There are a couple educators out there, great educators, as a matter of fact, who are selling their Ichimoku courses for $97, and another one is selling it for $197. And I can tell you that on Thursday you'll get all that same information, so without spending that kind of money. So I hope that you'll attend, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. Have a great day, you guys.